Hello and welcome to Janette's TV and Janette's TV podcast. I'm your host, Janette Burke. Today, I'm welcomed by Barbara Whiston, who is the director of the Norman Berman Children's Library, which is a division of the Jewish Public Library in Montreal, Quebec. Now, they're gearing up for a new festival. It's an annual festival, and it's called Montreal YA Young Adult Book Fest. It will be held on May 1st from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And this is a virtual event. Now we'll be right back with Barbara, who's going to tell us all about this exciting fest in just one moment. But first, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to be notified of all our episodes so you don't miss any of them. And you can support us on Patreon. We have a Patreon account. The link will be in the description below. And no donation is too big or too small as we continue to bring you the best content and a variety of guests possible. You can also support us by ordering one of our Janette's TV and podcast t-shirts or sweatshirts. These are premium quality. And you have a choice. You can get it either like this one with the JTV logo and tagline, also available in sweatshirt, or you can choose an inspirational quote or saying made by me or a previous guest in a previous episode. You choose your color and size, and it includes shipping and handling, and we ship it straight to your front door. Now back to today's episode. Welcome, Barbara, to Janette's TV and podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm really excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. So this book, Young Adult Book Fest, which is geared towards middle-aged children and teens, has been likened to a Comicon for book lovers or book people. And it began in 2018. Can you tell us a little bit more about why the event was started and what it actually features?
Well, as you said, the festival began in 2018. It was started by two powerhouse librarians at the Jewish Public Library. Their names are Talia Pardo and Nell Baudry. And the context is that the JPL, the Jewish Public Library, has always been known for its fantastic programming and specifically for connecting people with writers and books directly. This is true for members of any age. That's one of our hallmarks, even in the youth library. So Talia and Nell thought, why don't we do that, but on an even bigger scale? So the idea of YAFest was born, and the initial offering was in May 2018. In 2019, it roughly doubled in size. In 2020, we were, of course, shanghaied a little bit by COVID, but the festival returned last year virtually with about 35 authors and about 200 participants. And this year, we're bigger than ever. We have over 45 authors, artists, and performers lined up to interact with young readers and their parents and teachers and librarians.
Well, that sounds very exciting. Let's talk about the actual book author lineup. There's, pretty impressive group of people, and they aren't just from Montreal. They're actually pretty much from all over the world. So let's hear, who is coming, a little bit about who's coming and some of the topics they're going to be speaking on or they'll be covering. And who are you looking forward to see?
Well, YAFest has always attracted writers from Canada and the world. And this year, actually, COVID and Zoom make it very easy to connect people from far and wide. So we do have lots of authors from everywhere. We have Montrealers like Nina Laura and Monique Polak. We have other Canadians like Rob Canoe from Manitoba. We have Ashley Shuttleworth, who's also a Canadian, June Herr, and we have many Americans, notably Gabrielle Savitt, who is one of our keynotes, and Karen McManus, who many will know as the author of the very famous series of books that started with One of Us is Lying.
Okay, so how do the authors get involved in this? How do you approach them, or do they come to you? I mean, I guess the purpose of the event is to really pair young adults with their favorite book authors in a fun environment. So how do you get them involved? And how long does it take to put all this stuff together?
It never stops. The planning literally never stops. We're already starting to think about what 2023 is going to look like. So yeah, it's quite a long-term plan. It's a bit of a smorgasbord how we pull the thing together. In some cases, authors reach out to us. In other cases, we have relationships with authors and we reach out to them. We also reach out to them through publishing houses, large and small, all languages, all countries, and collaborate with them to bring their voices to our readers.
That sounds interesting. So as I said, are you looking forward to any one particular author? Do you have a favorite?
I do not. I have to say, it's like asking, when you're organizing a festival, it's like being a parent and you're asking me to choose between my children. And I don't think that I can really do it. I'm proudest of the range and the diversity and the depth, the established authors, the new voices, the range of topics and themes and genre that are being covered. We have a range of... Can we talk
about some of those topics? What type of topics would be covered at this festival?
So this year's festival includes a range of genre and themes. So we have genre like contemporary fiction, historical fiction, fantasy fiction. And we also have themes like LGBTQ plus themes and social justice themes, as well as Indigenous themes.
Okay, so, very, very current affair type of subject matter. That
YA has every type of book in it. There really is something for every reader. And we try to connect as many readers with as many books as we possibly can.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what the event actually features. I know there's keynotes, there's workshops, there's entertainment, there's games. So tell us a little bit more about that part of it, and also about the writing contest.
Okay, so when YA Fest took place in person, it was so vibrant. And I think that Talia and Nil were really surprised at the number of adults and librarians and teachers and parents who showed up, as well as the teen readers. When you try and pull that off online, it's a little bit trickier. And last year we managed with panels, but it lacked a little bit of that effervescence that you can expect in an in-person event. So this year we're trying to mix it up a little bit and introduce non-panel activities to the mix so that we can try and approximate a little bit better an in-person event. So we do have two performers instead of like a panel or a workshop. We have Victoria Carbo, who is a BC writer, poet, and singer, who will be entertaining us in one room, and the very wonderful Nina Segalowitz, who is an Inuit throat singer from Montreal, and she will entertain us in another room at a different time. We have live readings for the first time. We have writing workshops. We have Monique Polak and JF Dubois, who are going to be teaming up to give some writing tips to aspiring young writers. And I'm really excited that YAFest co-founder Talia Pardo, who is a really well-established and experienced editor, will be heading up a session where she will be giving young writers and editors tips for getting started in the publishing world.
Okay,
So
that all
that's
sounds
just
great.
kind of the beginning. Yeah.
So that's sort of an outline of the event activities or what's going to be happening and the new things that are going to be happening this year because you're adjusting to the online platform. And what about the writing contest? What is that all about? And how does someone get involved in something like that, or, participate, throw their hat in the ring if they want to? There's a prize to be had. So tell us a little bit more about that too, please.
We're working on a nice bag of prizes for our winners. And basically, there are a number of different categories in which a person can submit. And it could be a book review, it could be a video, it could be a poem, it could be a short story. The contestants are invited to tell us how old they are and where they're going to school so that we can judge them appropriately. And we're welcoming submissions from everyone, everywhere. All voices welcome.
Okay, so that was leading me into my next question. This is an online event. I assume it's taking place on Zoom or some type of online platform. What is it, Zoom?
It is. We're doing it on Zoom. We figured that people are very comfortable with Zoom at this point, and so it was probably a good choice.
Mm-hmm. But since it is on Zoom and the, I guess the chance to attend is widespread, meaning that it's not just limited to Montreal. You could actually attend if you're in Canada, anywhere in Canada, anywhere in the US, really anywhere in the world. So the question is, and I just want to clear this up because it may be a misconception that this contest is, just for Jewish people or Jewish people of Montreal, but in fact, it's not, correct? Can you elaborate on that?
The festival is for everybody, everywhere, regardless of age or geographic location. And the same is true of the writing contest. This really is about giving young people a voice, whoever they are, wherever they are.
And now admission, if you want to attend, is there admission price for this event?
When it was in person, we did charge admission, but honestly, we feel very strongly that COVID has erected enough barriers to participation. And we, thanks to some sponsors who are helping make this possible, we were committed from the get-go and we're sticking with it. We're charging no admission fee to anybody. It is free to attend for everyone.
Isn't that wonderful? And I just want to remind everyone that this is happening on May 1st from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're in a different part of the world or in a different time zone, you want to plan to attend, you can do so. And
hope you will.
Yeah, of course. So, and do you have any sort of an estimate of how many attendees you're expecting this year? You had mentioned that in previous years there was around 200 in person. How many will you be allowed to have on Zoom? Will there be a limitation of numbers, like first come, first serve? No,
there's no limitation. We're prepared for that. We really hope that Zoom and our library's internet doesn't fail us, but I think we should be okay. I'm hoping for 350 to 400 people. We have a book club in Wales that's expressed interest. We have moderators in Ottawa and in the States. We have two moderators out of the States. So we're hoping that they'll bring a crew of interested readers along with them and that we'll be able to reach more people than ever.
So again, this event is all about pairing people together, book lovers with their favorite book authors. And you've mentioned quite a bit about what's going to be happening at the event. I'd like to know, is there any other way for attendees to connect with the book authors that you haven't mentioned?
That's a very good question. People are free to write to us and to ask us to help them connect with the writers. They can certainly participate and ask questions. There will be a free question answer period in every session that is part of our event. We are hoping to have some rooms, sort of drop-in rooms, Zoom rooms, where authors can drop in and readers can drop in and connect randomly. We're hoping that will get off the ground. That would be a really nice possibility.
So where can we go? If we're interested in attending, we have to know where to go to learn more and get registered. Where can we go to do that?
Well, the registration is through Eventbrite, but the easiest way to find it is by going first to the Montreal YA Fest website, which is mtlyafest.com. Once you're there, you'll see the registration button on every page. And please just click on it and get yourself a free registration to Montreal YA Fest and get a chance to drop in and listen to some exciting authors.
Okay, and we will also share that link in the description box below the video. Then the episode, we will always share it. So guys, you can get on there and register. I think this is a really interesting event for youth of all ages, really, right? It's not limited, although it is designed mainly for middle school children and teens. You mentioned that it's not really limited by age. I think we've covered everything we could about the event, unless, of course, there's something you would like to add that we haven't discussed. No?
Only that we would be very excited to have as many of you join us as possible, and that we're hoping fervently to be able to welcome people to a hybrid event in 2023. We're reluctant to give out the reach that Zoom and COVID have offered us, but we're eager to have people in person again. So we look forward to seeing you this year.
Well, you know, a lot of events are back on, right? A lot of in-person events, festivals, even Comicon is back on, and Fan Expo Canada. So I'm sure it's well within reach to anticipate an in-person hybrid event for 2023. Let's just mention one more time the link to go to register and learn more about this event. If you could give me the link again, please.
Sure, it's mtlyafest, so montrealyafest.com.
Okay, so thank you for sharing our time today with me, your time with me rather, Barbara. Thank you for telling my viewers about this event, and thank you viewers for also tuning in. This is Janette Burke, your host, signing off. Please remember to like, share, and comment on all our posts. You will find us everywhere: Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Pinterest, Vimeo, pretty much every, Twitter, you name it, we're there on every social media platform with the hashtag Janette's TV. That's on the visual side. On the audio side, we also can be found on iHeartRadio, Anchor, Buzzsprout, BuzzFeed, Apple, and the list goes on. In fact, for the full list of where you can watch and listen to us, hop on over to www.janetteburke.com. The link will be below. And when you get there, there's a section called Janette's TV and Podcast. And you can see in that section, just on the drop menu, all the places that you can see and watch us. So, and again, there's a link below in the descriptions to take you there. So this is Janette Burke, your host, signing off and reminding you that until next time, continue to be fabulous. Bye for now.